Focus lost again. Chapter 1. Never tell me the mods. People make videos how they have modded and hacked their mini consoles and retro devices to infinity and back. They have consoles that have a staggering amount of games in them, hundreds or thousands, and different consoles emulated in them also. It's not really that hard thing to pull off, but I would never recommend for you to do that. And why is that, you may ask? Sure, it may look cool to have a trillion of SNES or PlayStation 1 games, but the main question is, are you playing them? Are you? Are you playing them eventually or at all? Ever? Honestly? Because that's what games are about. They are meant to be played. Not to be shelved, boxed away. They are meant to be played. And with the virtual games, you can't even display those games on a shelf as some kind of weird trophy or badge. You just can't. No, but what you will have is a lost sense of appreciation for having too much stuff too fast. I mean, it's only human. Your mind can only take in so much in time. You will eventually suffer from choice paralysis of scrolling through your library again and again, but ending up playing nothing at all. Just scrolling through the endless library becomes taxing. It requires an extra effort to plan your gaming time and choose your games, or you'll end up playing nothing at all. That is an extra effort that only few of us are willing to put up with. To put it short, having more is not happiness, it is just having more. Happiness comes through appreciation, and it's easy to lose the sense of appreciation when you're suddenly overwhelmed. Chapter 2. Flaw to perfection. There has even been a counter movement going on. I saw a YouTube video of someone making point why he unmodded his PlayStation Classic. He had a variety of points, but the choice paralysis had got to him, and he decided willingly to go back and to respect the original game lists the devs had brought with the console. Many people would probably think that guy is crazy, but I can see where he's coming from. Now he has a better focus narrowed down, and he's probably getting more joy out of those pre-installed games than from 500 or so random PlayStation 1 ROMs he just jammed into that console. Most of us already have a backlogs of games sitting around. Some of us have amassed so big backlog already that they can never see it through. Do you really want to add 500 or so random PlayStation 1 games there too, just because you can? And if you do, I challenge you to ask yourself, to what end? To me, it appears that many players have lost their sights. Their focus is as off as it can be. When I was younger, I had a friend who had Metal Gear Solid, Grand Theft Auto 2 and Tekken 3 on his PlayStation 1. That guy was aces in my books. And he only had those 3 games, only in that one system, a PlayStation. I myself had a game or 2, and yes, only one system. If someone had 20 or so games, like now in PlayStation Classic or in SNES Mini, that guy would have been nuts. I mean, I would have thought that the guy is crazy rich or something. I mean, PlayStation 1 game is a plenty. Having 20 of them is very plenty. Sure, you can say 30 games is better than 20, but again, to what end? You could have 30 games in PlayStation Classic, and the only thing you are wishing is to have 40 games in it, or 50. The number of games is not the issue, at least not the only issue of PlayStation Classic. The issue is our current mindset, not as gamers, but as people in general. We want everything we can have, whether we need it or not, whether it is truly bringing us joy or happiness or not. We just want more because there is more, and because we can have more. The thing is, you can only have one video game and be totally happy with it, or you can have 500 and feel constantly choice paralysis and backlog anxiety. Not saying having more games automatically leads to anxiety and choice paralysis, but having more stuff for wrong reasons is definitely a dangerous path to walk. Now there are retro gamers out there with shelves double stacked games, and they're still constantly looking for more and talking about game flipping just so they can get more games, more consoles. And I'm telling you people, it's a crazy world out there. No wonder people have been talking about retro game market crashes, because this kind of stuff is not gonna live on the long run. Chapter 3. More than a game. People forget that these mini consoles are not just about crazy game collections, but to many of us, a nostalgia trip. It's a rush, the ride people get when they're visiting these old systems again. It is as much about the hardware as software, playing with the right controllers, with the right mindset, seeing the physical representation of console like SNES again and hooking it up. Sure, the games are there too, but I've also seen many YouTubers who've told that they just like to look at the console on a shelf and display it like some trophy. The fact that these consoles are getting rare and highly collectible just adds to that weird trophy status. To each their own, I suppose. Lastly, I do want to say this out loud, that I don't want to attack anyone with this video or stir up any controversy, but I do want to address the elephant in this room. And maybe, just maybe, I want you to reconsider your life choices. Do you actually need hundreds and hundreds of games in your physical and your digital library? Is that kind of consumption healthy, money-wise, psychologically and physically? Are you still master of your own game collection, or has it become your master? Video game collecting addiction is a real issue. Where, when and how it will end? Just a question for you to ponder. I mean, just try to keep level-headed and remember that you don't have to play, own and experience everything. And do remember to have fun. Thanks for tuning in.